And so we started with 126 greyhounds. We're down to the final 48. We're after witnessing the second session of second round heats. And again, well, a night of shocks. The man beside me, the bookmaker, should be smiling.
Yeah, with a bookmaker's hat on, you would be. With a greyhound enthusiast, they said sort of a little bit of a downbeat, especially with my connections with JT Jet. But without question, it was an absolute graveyard for punters there tonight. Just everything seemed to get the rub of the green for bookmakers. Disappointing to see so many big names go out, but look, there's an opportunity there now for an unnamed big name to become one, and plenty of dogs in there, I think, with massive chances now.
You touched upon it. JT Jet and Clare's Rocket were already absentees before the night started, which started with a downbeat in a manner, but thankfully both greyhounds, decent reports about them. They'll both race again. We look forward to seeing them, and hopefully we'll see them taking on each other in the future.
Oh, without question. I don't see any reason why both of the dogs won't be back in this competition next year. Jet's only 2.5, and as we've seen, Clare's Rocket win the Project Stakes this year, so I'd imagine the two dogs will be back here next year. Yeah, it was a bit of a downbeat, but look, both greyhounds will get to run again, and that's all that matters really.
Right, we'll kick straight into the action then. Heat 9 tonight, run in the better conditions, won by Lenson Rocky in 29.72. He didn't trap great. Highview Event out-trapped him, but he showed great early gears to get up the inside. Highview Event came to challenge him, and he rallied again out front. A plucky performance by Lenson Rocky. He's a dog that continues to impress.
Yeah, definitely, and I just can't understand why he's not trapping. He's much more in the tank when it comes to trapping, and the night he does, I think he's going to do a massive run. He'll be prominent in the betting now. He's an English Derby finalist. He's doing very, very little wrong every night he runs, and Pat Buckley's got a real life player there. Highview Event ran a big race in defeat. Just lacked the little bit of class maybe potentially that Rocky has. I wouldn't be knocking the dog either. Highview Event ran a big race, but Lenson Rocky really showed his class there tonight, and Jeremiah Larry qualifying as well for Jimmy Buckley as well. The
important thing is Highview Event a wide seed. He could get a favourable draw from here on in if he remains in the competition.
Yeah, definitely. Rocky will probably get a decent enough draw as well with a middle seat on him, but Highview Event, I don't know how many wides are left in. There'll be probably less than 10 or 12 left in. So yeah, if he keeps qualifying, and with that early pace, he done a 3:31 section last week, he's prolific around the 3:40 mark. He'll be closer to the front than the back most nights off that section.
Jamara Larry followed him home in third. He was beaten a long way into third, but actually a little bit fortuitous entering the back straight, but we know we can go better than that, and we expect better from him.
Yeah, he's a 196 done, and he's got plenty of fast sections done around Waterford as well, but another one that needs to improve at the start. He's not starting in this competition, and down to the last 48, no room for error now.
With JT Jet out, Price's Brandy was probably your best chance of a Derby winner, your father's best chance. Look, certainly wasn't on his side. He walked from traps, but perhaps still looked a possible winner at the third bend, and then was the door closed and him forced backwards, knocked over Boharash Messiah. So his chances, I'm afraid, are over. But Slippery Thelma, a good winner from trap 1. She made the most of her draw.
Yeah, look, and that's what you have to do. You have to beat them all. She got out in front. Brandy went to go in a gap that wasn't there, the third bend, and that was his race over. 2 Ballymac Sarah Joe ran on gutsy enough as well, and BoyleSports Duke for John. I'm glad to see John get another one into with Jet, who followed up later on, but Duke's just stayed on and was too strong for Brandy close to the finish. But look, that's the rub of the green. When it rains, it pours.
Absolutely. I noticed there that Ballymac Sarah Joe, one of about 3 or 4 pitches that Liam Downing's got through to the third round already.
Yeah, I don't know how many pitches are left in, but I'd say it could be nearly a record how many pitches are left in. There's loads of them there, and you never know, might be a lady on the winner's rostrum this year.
You never know indeed. So that was Heat 10. Perhaps the Derby winner won't be coming from that heat.
I wouldn't reel anything off what I saw out there tonight.
Moving on to Heat 11, and here we saw Droopies Ford. This was a thoroughly professional performance. Carl Ramsbottom has been bullish enough about this dog. Knew there was a run in him. From trap 1 tonight, he made no mistake, popped out in front and made every inch of the running.
Yeah, definitely, and this was another one of those races that everyone was sort of looking towards the outside to dominate, and it was the inside 3 that qualified. Sugar Bear Barber, we've touched on him a couple of times now in these, and we keep on saying how consistency is, and consistency is paying the way. Liam Dowling with another bitch Amanta Chick also getting through, but Droopies Ford, plumb draw on the inside and made the most of it. We'll need to continue to do that, but there's no reason why he can't.
Indeed, you were saying there, Hovix Blaze was dominating the market. He was slowly astride, never really got involved, and Bullmarker just was left standing in boxes. He was never a contender in this one, but as I said, Droopies Ford, if he keeps getting an inside draw and keeps popping out, he's a dog that could go around or 2 more.
Definitely, and look, I'm pretty sure everyone will look at those 48 greyhounds left in, and every single one of them will fancy their chances, and the way this Derby has gone so far, anything can win it. It's going to be one of those years, and it appears like it's going to be one of those years that you can never rule out anything from happening.
Indeed, there'll be arguments over what'll even be favoured coming next week. Looking on now to Heat 12, and here we saw Swords 8. What a gallant performer. regulars at Shelburne Park are not surprised that this fellow's still there, because it takes a good one to lead him, and once you're in front, well, it's the place to be.
Yeah, and look, we said as well in one of these that the dog, for me, doesn't get enough credit. I'm a big fan of Swords Ace, and for me, he's a massive chance in this derby. I've said it to a couple of people tonight, leaving, that I wouldn't put anyone off him. He'd be in the top few in the betting for me, and I mean that. His early pace, electric, and even when he gets to the front, he just battles. He's a real fighter. He will not let you past. And that's what you need at these stages. You need to be able to battle in front. When things don't go your way, you need to be able to stick it in, and Swords Ace does it in abundance. Ballymac match, you have to touch your hat to him as well. He's clearly not the force he was at this stage last year in the derby. You can see he's still coming to terms with things, and I'm sure there's a few creases to be ironed out. But no better man than Liam to try and do that. But to just keep his name in the hat, for me, is an achievement, because he's not just peaking yet. Now, if he can stay in and get there, and Liam can get to the bottom of him, who knows? He might have a big chance. But he showed his battling skills tonight. There was trouble at the third bend. JT Dutch went up his inside there as well and got cut off. And Matt just knows how to get it done, and I wouldn't rule him out yet.
Of course, in between those was Notorious Ben. But you say about Ballymac Matt, he showed tonight that he still has the engine. It's just, as you say, there's something's not quite right there at the moment. But as you say, Liam might just get to the bottom of him. 29.72 for Swords Ace. Again, he's not one you can rule out of a derby.
No, and I definitely won't be. He's one of my main players in it, and I think he'll take a few good ones to beat him.
Now, by the time Heat 13 was run, the rain had really started to pour down. It was a wet track, slippery enough conditions, perhaps running a bit heavy on top. It was 1 in 30.15, which would reflect that, but it was also a strangely run race. Here, BoyleSports Jet came through on the rail onto the run-in to beat Farlow Rumble and Escapism, who both at one stage would have looked like likely winners. Farlow Rumble just couldn't quite get past Kilgraney Denver when he needed to at the third and between the third and fourth bends. That probably cost him victory, but BoyleSports Jet, a good winner for your man, of course, John Boyle, a happy man tonight.
Without question. This is a dog that John purchased in Limerick in the Anacon Kirby 2 years ago, and listen, they've had no luck with him. You have to also put a word of credit in here for Brendan Matthews and the team, because this dog has clearly had issues, and they've stuck with him. And for me tonight, if you had have said to me that any greyhound was going to go into the third bend and come from behind, Farlow Rumble and Escapism, any dog left in the competition, I think you would have raised your eyebrows. I couldn't believe he got up to win it, to be honest, and that's the ability that dog has. He can start much quicker than he did tonight as well, but he really battled hard. Take nothing away from Farlow Rumble and Escapism. Like you said, Farlow Rumble just didn't get the break when he probably needed it. Escapism ran on well again. That's 2 good runs. You don't even look at the clock in this race. You can't. It was absolutely torrential rain here, but really BoyleSports Jet surprised me. I'm not going to lie, he really did. I didn't think anyone would come from behind Farlow Rumble and Escapism.
Indeed, BoyleSports Jet went up strangely with traps. He sort of bunny hopped out of boxes, and being a white dog, well, white and black in the car, but he's more white than black. Yeah. He really caught your eye the way he sort of jumped up in the air. But as you say, he's a real grinder. He's just a powerhouse. He just keeps going at the same pace, and he got there. I thought Escapism probably should have won off the last bend.
Well, the one thing I do want to say as well is I seen JT Dutch actually when he came into the weight room after the race, and I mean the thickness of the wet sand in the dog's faces tonight. For any dog coming off the pace tonight, it was extremely difficult. And I can't emphasise that enough. That must be mentioned. And I really was impressed with him. Yeah, you can say Escapism probably should have got up close home, and he was probably on the better going as well, coming up on the outside as well. But I think I'd put it more down to that BoyleSports Jet dog with a big run. I don't think Escapism done anything wrong. It's hard to know because we don't know what the clock was like. But yeah, no, very good. Nice, 3 nice dogs going through, and 3 nice players for the derby.
Certainly 3 strong running dogs that could go further again. You're right about the track. It's probably hard to see on the screen, but when you're down there, it really was thick and gloopy and heavy, as you say. Now on to Heat 14, and here Burgess Popeye, popular in some quarters. A shorter price tonight than he was during the day, and popped out, made every inch of the ring to win. Well, popped out, got to the front, should I say, in before the corner in 30.05. Wasn't a bad run in the conditions. Slippery Louise ran a big race in second. Mildy and Puma getting up late to qualify, the hot favourite, but things didn't go right for him.
No, they didn't. He had a little bit of a battle with Blue Cafu on a number of occasions, at the first, at the third as well, and it looked like Blue Cafu had just cut off Mildy and Puma and possibly cost him his place in the derby at the third bend. But you have to say, Graham Holland's runner, 5.75 track record holder, all of that stamina, and of course it was in the final at 7.50 at Harris Cross as well. All that stamina came to the fore just to get up and beat Blue Cafu. But Burgess Popeye, yeah, got to the rails, done very little wrong. A June 14 puppy. He's only had 7 races, and he's now got 3 wins and 3 seconds from 7 races. Not a bad start to his career, and another one with great early pace, who's going the right way.
A dog that does 28.84 in his debut round Yaw can clearly run, and this is a dog, I know he did that run in his debut, but he's actually only really getting to grips with the game now. The penny's really starting to drop, and he's a dog that if he hit the lids in the next round, he can make any dog run.
Well, this is the kind of derby that's the kind of dog I would mark down for a derby like this. It just seems to be the way it's going, that something under the radar is going to win this derby, in my opinion, and he would tick an awful lot of boxes. Very inexperienced, only a handful of races, improving all the time, and who knows, Sparta might throw a derby winner, yeah.
Indeed. Care Castle was the hot favourite in Heat 10 following the defection of JT Jet. Of course, Crahan Ronnie was also missing from Trap 1. It meant that Care Castle had nothing on his inside. As a result, they bet this fellow hard during the week. Their bets went to SP, as you're well aware. Yeah. He's returned around 2-1 on, 4-7 tonight, but had his chance. El Aleco led, wouldn't be seen as a strong stayer, and Care Castle perhaps should have won from where he was at the second bend.